Harley-Davidson Street Glide, because sometimes you want a touring bike that says I'm going somewhere, but also I'm probably going to stop for some accessories along the way. Riding a Street Glide is basically like piloting a leather recliner with speakers loud enough to let everyone within a mile know your playlist. Well, this is my Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and when it's not leaking oil...
So we got some leakage coming out of these rocker box gaskets.
Losing parts, exhaust trying to back itself up off the bike, and despite what
the Kevin guy
thinks, I actually kind of like riding it. Today, I'm going to upgrade my ride and give it a Stage 1 exhaust, intake, and tune. Let's start with the exhaust. Now, the exhaust I actually had on the bike previously, but I had to take it off so I could get some new bracketry in to make sure they would stop sliding off. But I have these here. These are Cobra 909 slip-ons. I have some upgraded hardware, Stage 8, Grade 8, not Stage 8, I got some Grade 8 hardware there. I've got some new exhaust clamps. Over here, we have the other parts that I'll be working with. First is I got a DynoJet Power Vision 4, and I've got this Fuel Moto. It has been a long time since I've really messed with Harleys as far as tunes go. I had a Sportster 12, 15 years ago maybe, and I had a Power Commander 5 on it, and apparently with this Power Vision it's way easier. It's just a reflash. You don't have to run any wires, you don't have to unplug your O2 sensors and put in some loop around bung. And so those are the items I went with. Are we going to be making tons and tons of power? No, I am not a mechanic. I am marginally mechanically inclined. I have enough tools to maintain my vehicles, but I'm not jumping into the engine and really excited to break things apart. I like when my stuff is together and not being worked on. So the first thing we're going to do is get our slip-on exhaust reinstalled on the bike. Alright, we got the first side done up here. Let's see, we have our exhaust can on. I like to keep it even, start them by hand if I can. The torques for this is inch-pounds. It's like 75 to 144 or some big range. So I did like 90 to 100 on this. And this, believe it or not, the actual exhaust clamp here also has a torques rating of 38 to 43 foot-pounds. So we just did in the middle at 40. Do I need all of these torque specs? Technically, can I do it by hand? Yes, but I have the tools, I have the torques from the factory service manual, and might as well just use them. That's what I think. Alright, so we got both sides on. Both sides are torqued down to spec. And I also wiped them down with a little cleaning, a little brake clean to get rid of any fingerprints. I do like to work with gloves, which avoids that, but this is just to make sure we're extra safe. Whenever I work with brake clean, I also like to wear some safety glasses. You don't know where that spray is going to go. And as far as you guys and your torque wrenches go, how do you guys store these? I've heard some different schools of thought. I always go down to the lowest possible setting, not bottomed out, and then store them in the box. I've heard some other people just leave them, and maybe even some other people that bottom them out. I don't like that, but that's their prerogative. So let me know what you think. What do you do? Alright, so next up we're going to get the air cleaner on. Now, the air cleaner, according to the guide, I should be able to take this whole thing off without removing the tank. So these are the two bolts that I need to get off. And this is how I took the tank off. I just spun it around. What I'm going to do is get those two bolts out and then probably rest the tank back on the front just so that this doesn't fall. Alright, well, we've got the part off that was in here. This is the part we need to get off. Also holds two little itty bitty connectors, so I'm guessing that those connectors will just hang freely now, unless I can rig this up to go on the new one, but we'll see. So to get this in, kind of had to put it all in as an assembly and then line everything up. Now we're going to torque everything down. Alright, next up, I've got this special adapter that goes right here, because I'm going to use the factory air cleaner cover. Alright, we've got everything on. We've got the factory air cleaner on. It was a little bit annoying to get on, because it doesn't line up super great. Other than that, this is done. Up next, we're going to make sure all the tank is bolted down, the seat's back on, and then we're going to get to the actual power commander itself.
Installing this PowerVision 4 was surprisingly straightforward. Basically, you plugged it in, connected your phone, followed the on-screen prompts, and it worked. The previous time I worked with the Power Commander, I felt like it took me hours to get it set up, but this was very literally 5 minutes, and I might even recommend this if you're not doing a stage 1. It seems like a great option.
Several days later.
Alright, we are a few days later now. Had to take a quick break from working on the bike to go do a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to take it out for a test ride today. Here's the bike as it sits right now. We have the exhaust installed. And we also have the air cleaner installed and ready to go. Tune has been applied. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I kind of don't know what to expect. Let's see. Well, here's the results. After the stage 1 on this street glide, I would say this bike feels like it's had its morning coffee. It's a little more in sync after about a couple hundred miles of riding the stage 1. The engine temps, I think they're a little lower. Air-cooled engines are hot. And where before I felt like I was slow roasting my inner thighs, now it's more of a lightly toasted feeling. We'll see what happens on a hot summer day, but I do have some other plans for keeping this bike cool that may end up in a future video. As far as for power, Butt Dyno reports no dramatic gains, but a polite increase in feel. Just a small increase in feel. However, with the smoothness of the throttle and the cooler running of the bike, I'm not going to say it feels like a different bike, it just feels like a better version of the current bike it was. I would say, for me, this was totally worth it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.